Typical of me, I knew what I wanted and I knew what I wanted to do.
Well, you see, now I've got a girl, and we stay out late, almost every night. Well, the people just stare and they declare, well, it just ain't right.
A month later, Marty's self-written song Bad Boy only just scraped into the top 10. Well, that was a hit in America. The young female fans had already begun to desert him.
And then it destroyed his career as a teenage idol, you know. It just took the bottom line out of it.
The hits dried up. His self-penned Tomorrow's Clown was the last of his 13 hits, and although one of Marty's favourites, barely reached the top 30. Cliff was now top male singer, and Billy Fury, who Marty had discovered, had replaced him as the headline act. Marty looked like a family man in a sweater. Billy was sexy and dangerous.
And he revealed himself to be a genuine, lovable person who put love and family first. And that sort of guy wasn't going to go around exciting teenage fans by wiggling his hips.
You know, the pop thing, all that kind of lifestyle, you know, you can't live that forever. I mean, you don't want to live that forever. It was time for me to move on.
Marty's backing group, the Wildcats, moved on to work with rock and rollers Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent as he spent less time performing. His manager, Larry Parnes, was hoping that Marty would emulate Tommy Steele's success in the movies.
How about a statement? What about when you get back?
Jetstorm was a dramatic role. The film had a starry cast: Richard Attenborough, Harry Seacombe, and a who's who of the British theatre.
We're not sure.
Are you going to make any professional appearances while you're there?
We've got one or two engagements lined up.
But it's mostly our honeymoon.
The door won't open in flight. It will. Open enough. No oxygen. No, he'll kill us all. Says the door won't open.
The films for me were, you know, all right, but it never sat well with me.
Little girl, you're the one girl for me. Little girl.
The only time I think that I ever felt possibly unsure was when the children started to arrive, because then I had to, you know, it wasn't just me, it was a family to support. And I had to take in as much work and do as many things as possible.
All the managers were telling them they had to become all-round entertainers, and suddenly the Beatles came and they were lost. They were all-round entertainers with nobody to entertain.
What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? Please answer my question, baby. She's so nice. What you gonna do about it?
I used to really sweat and I think, how am I going to get the money for this mortgage? And what am I going to do?
Since you gotta go.
The 60s marked a dramatic change in the music scene, and the rock and rollers had to adapt. In 1965, Marty and Joyce formed the Wild-3. Harmony singing was the in thing. Their advert for a third member caught the eye of young Justin Hayward, who would later join the Moody Blues.
Every week I'd get the Melody Maker and answer the ads for musicians, and I answered one, it said backing musician wanted for name singer, and I had a reply back to tell me to come to this house in Eastbrook Road in Blackheath, and I went up there and Marty Wilde opened the door. I couldn't believe it.
Who think a love like ours could find?
We did lots of tours for the forces, combined services, entertainments. We travelled everywhere. We did summer seasons. We did lots of the northern clubs.
Straight down like falling rain.
They had a bit of a hard job, to be quite honest with you. They couldn't accept the Wild-3, as we were called, at all.
The Wild-3 were not a success, but did give Marty a chance to hone his writing skills. He wrote all the songs on his next album, Diversions, and 3 of them went on to transform his reputation as a songwriter, producing simultaneous top 10 singles for Lulu, Status Quo, and The Casuals' huge hit Jessamine.
I'm not really living, a butterfly child, so free and so wild, and so full of living. When jazz on in stage.
Until songwriting came along, I'd had to take a lot of things that I didn't really want, and now I could say no. I'm going to stay home and write, and I did.
Beautiful days lost in her eyes.
But there are quite a few songs that if you said to them, oh, Marty Wilde wrote that, you'd go, no. Did he?
The greatest thing he told me then was that to survive in the business, you have to have your own style, something that people can recognize you for. And to do that, you should write your own material. And I started writing then, and that's the best piece of advice he ever gave me, because from then on I became really a writer, and my writing took me to the Moody's and has given me the career that it has.
Each time we have a quarrel, it almost breaks my heart.
Writing songs for others allowed Marty to bankroll his passion for performing, returning to the stage with his rock and roll act and establishing himself as a premier nostalgia performer. But Marty's songwriting skills remain bang up to date, and in the early 80s he took time off from performing to establish a career for daughter Kim. She became a worldwide star with #1 hits in the UK and America.
All the bad times really, and now we're going to pay off, because I've been all through the bad trips, and I didn't want her to go all through that.
All the early hits were all written by my dad, Marty Wilde, and by my brother, Ricky Wilde. Predominantly, my dad was taking over on the lyrics and finishing those off.
I'm not leaving now, honey, not a chance.
His whole approach to his career was very much that it was his job, and he was very, very fortunate to be able to do that and to be paid for something he loved to do. And so he always instilled in, you know, Ricky and I that sort of work ethic about being a pop star. It wasn't actually about being a pop star at all. In fact, that was kind of something you'd sort of giggle about a bit, really. It was about working hard and putting the graft in, and it was about family.
Back in the 60s, it looked like Marty had sacrificed his career for the girl of his dreams. Today, Joyce is his manager, and the show goes on.
No, those songs can never die. They were part of you and I was born to rock and roll. Yes, I was born to rock and